I will marry 10 wives, 200 children, 20 concubines, and many slaves to slash. When I reach from gambling again, my future is set.
You gonna know where my husband. You are sleeping in my room tonight.
Move away!
Oh.
Carry me down.
Every day was chaotic in this particular house. It might look beautiful to behold from outside, but what occurred inside looks more than eyes could see. It was 3 wives, 3 troubles for a very skinny man like Aid. "You go nowhere, my husband. You are sleeping in my room tonight," first woman said audibly. "No, you lied. It is my turn. Move away." The third wife, with bigger body, pushed both women aside and grabbed Aid's shirt. He was fed up, his face obviously aiming for tears, as he was carried away like a dangling toy. How did he ended with the 3 women was also a mystery to him, ha 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 ha. It all began when Aid was still a poor man, hardly eat 3 square meals a day. He do sit under a bamboo tree at his regular joint called Mama T Cool Spot. He was jobless and lazy to work like any other man. He prefers to gamble with the little he had, and if he won, his joint was the better place to celebrate his wins. He will overdrink, foreseeing his future when he finally get rich in his lucky gambling again. "I will marry 10 wives, 200 children, 20 concubines, and many slaves to slash." Whenever he says this, his jobless friends like him would laugh aloud to their future expectations. On and on he continued his gambling, extorting money from his siblings to feed on. But as God would favor him, he met a madman on his way to gamble, and he playfully told him to bet on these numbers: 23, 5, 5, 6, 8. "Come on, get out. What do you know? So I should use my last penny to bet on the nonsense numbers you just said." Aid laughed, abusing the madman as he goes. When he arrived at his gambling center, he looked around and saw how others were lamenting, and he was told to forget about playing that he won't win. He didn't answer and played the bet. By the time he returned in full hope, he was saddened to hear about his losing. He opened his mouth in regret, blaming his entire generation for disobeying and not even playing the madman numbers. "AD, sorry. Please borrow me money fast before the next game drop," Aid begged. It took a while before he was finally given the money and he played the madman number. He sat at the terminal and waited until the result dropped. When he saw it, his eyes couldn't believe itself. "Yee!" he screamed out excitedly, almost tearing the little paper. He had just won 5 million naira. It was a joyous celebration for him. Within 1 month of winning, he rented a big bungalow. I bought a big car and also married 2 women he had been eyeing at the ghetto for long. Their names are Amaka and Bisi. He became known in his community. His shoulders were always high, proudly around. He didn't invest, he didn't start any business. He believes he could win more money from the gambling again. All he wanted is enjoyment. Within 3 months, his 2 wives started giving him headaches. They always abuse and shout at one another that one day. He returned home high, and because he wanted to have a nice night with Amaka. "Can I enter your kingdom tonight?" he asked. "Are you sure? Because you reek of alcohol." She winked, patting his lips. Bisi heard them and started claiming him to herself. They were dragging his hands on both sides until he broke out loudly and said, "You two should leave me alone. Do you want to kill me?" He staggered up from the floor and crawled into his room. That night, he made up his mind to marry another wife for his peaceful life to balance. He slept like a log of wood on the bed. The next day, he set out to go, and Amaka stopped him and asked for the money she asked for. He replied he would give her when he returned, but she refused. "What is your problem? Your husband is talking and you're querying me. Get out of my way this minute. You can't do anything, so you counted yourself as a man." "Ha, I blame myself for coming into this your house. You know me, Ade. When my head starts sparkling now, you will run helter-skelter without seeing helper." Before Ade could shake his head pitifully, she had grabbed him under her arm, dragging him around. He quickly apologized and took out the money she requested and gave her. And a week later, he brought in Tade, a chubby and endowed woman. He spent for her lavishly, making his other wives jealous with the intention of abstaining from their troubles. But it became worse. The day he was having no money, he went to heaven and returned instantly. His soul left him totally as Tade sat on him. Her own craziness was even bigger than the rest. She would order him around like a baby, and if he dares disobey her, he would be punished by copulating for 6 hours non-stop. He thought he could enjoy it at first, but he realized he was only torturing himself. The day he went to his gambling spot, he met a younger brother on his way going home. His brother asked why he had abandoned home because he finally has money. He didn't check on them or even thought of helping any of them. "Out of my way, my friend. When I was suffering, where were you?" he asked and drove away. "But we're there for you, brother." His brother shouted at him after his car. In his car, Ade was busy singing happily, driving recklessly until he splashed heavy mud on an old, fragile woman. He knew about it and gave a middle finger at the woman while laughing away. He got home, and before entering, his happiness faded. He did a Red Cross sign before going into the house. "What did you bring?" His 3 wives echoed in the sitting room, already waiting for him. "Can I get my food?" he asked, going to the dining without responding to their question. And they also didn't say a dime. One after the other, they dropped their food of plate covered and drop in front of him. His face enlightened, surprised that his wives were in good terms to have cooked at the same time for him. Then he opened the first plate and he freaked, seeing a small dead rat. He looked up at BC, who smirked, and then opened the second and saw nothing. He shakes his head at Amaka, eyeing her. He then opened the third and saw 2 oranges. His face brightened a little and looked at Tade, who was smiling. He pointed at Amaka and BC to excuse him. "You 2 are just useless. Trying to tempt my anger, right? Out of my sight this moment," he commanded, and Amaka and BC started insulting him and Tade. "My love, you can see that I am the only one that love you. Forget any non-entities. I couldn't prepare food because of my nails. That is why I brought this. So eat it before I order for food," Tade said, rubbing his head. "Oh, this is why I love you, my baby. You are better and perfect in everything. Any other person is just a head pusher." He praised her while eating the orange happily, but what he didn't know what was awaiting him in some hours. Ade was in his sweet dreams when he suddenly opened his eyes due to severe trouble stomach rumbling. He ran fast to the toilet holding his bum as he was about defecating on his body. When he returned to sleep, within a minute he would ran back again to defecate. It continues on and on until he couldn't stand or sit properly. He ran out of his room to meet Tade, but she wasn't inside. Her door was widely opened. He felt a little bang on his head, and he ran to his other wives' room, and they were not there either. What? His eyes sparkled in disbelief. And immediately he jogged back to the toilet again. When he remembered the secret safe, he kept his money. He ran out speedily to the place, and his whole existence shattered within a second. The $500,000 he had left wasn't there anymore. Yeah, am finished," he yelled. He scattered everywhere, and reality done on him that he has been played big time. They have get me. Ha! Yee! This women have finished me. He broke down weakly in tears, sobbing like an infant. He couldn't believe everything he had was gone like that. They destroyed the safe badly, to his amazement. He cried and cried until he fell asleep where he was. In fact, he defecated there without knowing. He managed to go to the hospital the next day, and he was told he had eaten poison, which has started affecting his kidney. Ade's eyes mellowed, wallowing his pains. He was admitted there for a week, where he had spent so much money. In fact, God loved him. He should have been a dead man. He sold his car, his expensive things in the house, and placed them on bed after his partial recovery in the hospital. He expected a better win or lesser that could bring him back on his feet. Instead, it was 0 wins. He wrapped hands above his head shamefully and in sorrow. He had lost everything. He was sure that in the 1 month his landlord would pack his few belongings left out of the house if he wasn't able to pay. Hey, do you see my life? How did I end up like this? Those foolish women, thieves' wife that I marry, have eventually ruined my life. I don't even know their whereabouts. I have gone to their family house and they didn't know either. I finally returned to my vomit. He talked to himself as he cried. Ade, why are you looking like sampling paper? I heard your wives have left you. In fact, where is your car? Do you still have your gas plant job, or it's skyscraper you invested your money on? I believe... Ade covered his face shamefully, leaving the terminal as they laughed at him from behind. He has nowhere to go. Even his family, he had dejected them. He regretted not working on himself, not building himself when he had the opportunity. I hope you enjoyed the story. A proverb that says, "Make hail while the sun shines," depict the theme of this story. A better yesterday can be a destroyed day today if we didn't make things right on the better day. Let me know if you learned something too in the comment section. If you have a story you want me to share, kindly indicate below. Have a great time.